The Flyers pin their hopes on Lindros, the way the Devils do with martinbrodeur. The Philadelphia faithful, one way or the other, will see an Eastern Conference champion crowned tonight.
The following is an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
It now comes down to a single game. A classic Eastern Conference Finals series has reached its climax. The right to play for the Stanley Cup is on the line. It has been a series defined by changes in momentum. The Devils in position to gain control. The Flyers refused to let it happen. When Philadelphia took the advantage, the Devils would be the ones to show the heart of a survivor, fighting back from a 3-1 series deficit. Even the stunning and successful comeback of the Flyers' fallen hero could not prevent the inevitable. Game 7, the game that will decide it. Can the Flyers overcome the adversity? Can the Devils complete an improbable comeback? All of North America holds its collective breath. To the 95th Game 7 in Stanley Cup playoff history. The First Union Center in Philadelphia is bursting at the seams for ESPN's exclusive coverage. Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening, and welcome to National Hockey Night on ESPN. I'm Steve Levy. The Devils blew a 15-point lead down the stretch of the regular season, and that's why tonight's Game 7 will be played on Flyer ice and not on Devil ice. I'm joined now by my partner, Darren Bang. It is nutty and wild here. Lindros played one game. He's already got more goals than John LeClair and Keith Primo combined.
With all fairness to how good Lindros is, if he's the best player in a Game 6, they're not going to have success, but he was. He needs more from a guy like John LeClair, who has 0 goals so far in this series. But he should spend some time with Eric. Their next centerman, Keith Primo, 0 goals as well. And he was 45% in faceoffs, and that has been his major strength down the stretch here in the playoffs for the Flyers. At the other end, Game 5 said it all when Nemchinov got hurt. Larry Robinson, their head coach, put Bobby Holik and Claude Lemieux together, and they have been terrific, setting the tone for the New Jersey Devils, and they will play again together tonight.
This series has simply had everything you could ask for, except for one thing, a winner. We'll get that tonight. Will it be Eric Lindros and the Flyers, or will it be Scott Stevens and the New Jersey Devils playing for the Stanley Cup? Welcome back to Philadelphia. Lauren Hart, the daughter of Flyers Hall of Fame voice Gene Hart, will carry on Kate Smith's tradition here, singing God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise to honor our flag and welcome Lauren Hart as she carries on the voice of the Flyers by singing God Bless America.
Through the night with the
as they carry on that great Flyer tradition. Kate Smith, when she used to sing it here, live or on videotape, the Flyers would win nearly 80% of their hockey games. And what a rendition of God Bless America by Lauren Hart.
This has got to get everyone just all fired up. Game 7, Boucher has yet to lose 3 consecutive games the entire season. He has been exceptional. At the other end of the ice, a veteran of Stanley Cup playoff competition and a Stanley Cup champion in 1995 with the Devils, Martinbrodeur, and he has been terrific as well for the Devils.
Referees Don Koharski and Dan Maroelli, the linesmen Kevin Collins and Jay Shares, and we are underway.
Owns off.
Roughing against Jones, 6:24. First penalty of the game. Rafalski's shot was deflected by Elias in front as Elias is being taken down. Here's Holik. Down low. Shot, score! There it is! The power play goal! Patrik Elias has given the Devils a 1-0 lead.
Elias was all alone. So some bad communication as the Flyers tried to be aggressive, jumping on the puck carriers and flooding the far side. Holik played it over to Jason Arnott, and Arnott fired it right across the seam through the crease. Oh boy, Jody Hull, he had fallen down. Now Eric Desjardins got caught in a bit of a trap there while Therrien tried to help out Desjardins. While he was doing that, Elias was all alone. So there was not enough collapsing by the Philadelphia Flyers, and the one-timer by Patrik Elias, who sneaks it underneath the goaltender, Brian Boucher. Tough play for the goaltender because he doesn't want to overcommit. And again, with Hull falling down.
Okay, he's bumped. Niedermeyer trying to get out of his own skates. Turnover at center. Here's 88. Lindros makes the move, and Lindros is hammered down to the ice by Scottstevens. And Lindros remains down on the ice as all the other players come together.
Oh boy. Oh boy. This is the worst case scenario here for Eric Lindros. Stevens came across like he has done so often in the playoffs. He comes across as a left D, and he slides through the middle, catching you with your head down. It's an art form for Scottstevens. And he got Eric trying to go through a load of red jerseys. Through the neutral zone, it was a 1-on-4 for Lindros. He's coming through, he beats Niedermeyer, head is down, and it's a shoulder right to the jaw of Lindros. And he has no clue this is coming. This is a freight train coming his way. A freight train. And it is a wicked hit. That is the mouth guard that he has in his mouth. It's a new mouth guard that he was wearing. We showed that in Game 6. But as quickly as it happens right here, no chance to defend. And it is exactly how Eric Lindros has been hit. When he was knocked out by Hal Gill crossing the blue line in March, that set off his last 2 concussions. Very, very similar situation. He's a mean hitter. That's a good hit, though. It's a good hit. And Scottstevens has been a bull all playoff long. Does this look familiar? Does this look familiar? Game 2 of this one, does that look familiar? Damon Lankow. And Lankow missed a game because of that. Then he continued it on in home ice. Different situations because they weren't in the middle of the ice. But those first 3 replays were identical to what just happened to Eric Lindros.
You have to feel for Lindros and everything he has tried to battle back from. He took a brief pop on the button on his chin from Steve Kelly of the Devils in game number 6, and Lindros was okay. Lindros and Stevens have battled like this over the years. The power forward against the power defenseman in the NHL. Another look at it. He catches him right there. The head snaps back. And Lindros was escorted off the ice.
Stevens' shoulder is the one that always makes contact first, the shoulder. And then in the follow-through, because of the blow, often the fans think that it's an elbow. But when you look at it closely, it's a shoulder first. It's Eric's jaw right to the shoulder. And then the follow-through motion, you see the arms come up. But clearly, that's not an elbow. That's a shoulder.
Scott Stevens has done that for all 18 years of his career. That's the way he's always played the game. Let's go down to Al Morganti. Al.
Steve Levy, I just followed Eric Lindros. I watched him walk into the locker room being helped by two of the Flyers training staff. He was walking basically 1 inch at a time. Didn't look like he knew his surroundings. It looks like the hit he took from Yager a couple of years ago when he was knocked so out of it, if you will. Looked very, very serious. He was a cut across the nose, and Kasperitis hit him a couple of years ago. Yeah. And we may actually, I know what the story's going to be now. It'll be whether or not he could ever play again, and the game for at least Eric Lindros becomes secondary at this point.
Al, keep us for second period action coming up. The Devils lead the Flyers 1-0. Steve Levy alongside Darren Pang, and clearly the Scott Stevens hit on Eric Lindros, knocking him out of the game, has cast a pall over the First Union Center here.
It really has. I mean, just watching it, it's just devastating to see a player, you know, like Eric, because of what he's gone through, crumble to the ice like he did, and obviously his future. I'm no doctor, but it would have to be in jeopardy based on the concussions that he has sustained. For Scott Stevens, that's Scott Stevens. That's an area that you can't venture into when he's on the ice. And it's a good hit. It's a shoulder first. It's the follow-through of the elbow that comes up. Never makes any contact with the head of Eric Lindros. It's shoulder to jaw.
Left on the power play. Here's Recchi. Plays every position, plays every side to Panger. Long shot, tip, shot, stop on Renault. Rebound in. It's Rick Tocchet on the rebound. And the Flyers have tied it at 1.
Traffic in front of goaltender Martinbrodeur. And even though John LeClair won't get credit for a goal here, he's the one that causes all kinds of havoc. The first shot stopped, they're all focused on him. While they're focused on LeClair, Rick Tocchet sneaks in from behind. Rebound down low, and the reason there was no interference call on John LeClair is because he was hit from behind, and therefore he collides with the goaltender Brodeur, and Rick Tocchet picks up the dirt right.
By the reaction from the crowd, you can tell, you can see, both clubs have hit the ice for the start of period number 3. We're tied at 1. Winner goes on to the Stanley Cup Finals. Back at the First Union Center, Steve Levy alongside Darren Pang. For the third time in the last 4 games, we enter the third tied at 1. The Flyers without Eric Lindros, this is something they've been through before.
They've had the hat trick of centermen that have been crushed in the playoffs so far. Unfortunately for the Flyers, they always seem to rebound, but you go back to that Pittsburgh series, Bobby Bugner laying out Keith Primo. He lasted 18 seconds in that hockey game. And then, of course, in this series, Scott Stevens and Damon Lankow, all through the middle of the ice. Tonight, this crushing and devastating blow to Eric Lindros. Somehow, the Philadelphia Flyers managed to regroup inside that locker room and play hard and play together. And they just had a heck of a second period. I'm sure Scott Stevens wasn't happy about the way the Flyers took it to the Devils in that period.
It's kind of strange to say, but Philadelphia is really experienced in that area. And that experience can actually help them. Certainly helped them in the second and can help them here in the third. A team that had not lost a big player on a big hit like that might have problems dealing with it. Philadelphia shouldn't. As John and Beck run around, Stevens all sorts of time to get to it. Now LeClair closes on him. Glove down at center by Patrik Elias. He's got the lone goal for New Jersey. McGillney on the forecheck now. Far side, Stevens towards the front of the net. It's deflected wide. McGillney on it, trying to tee up. Shot, score! It's Patrik Elias with 2:32 left in the third. And the Devils have taken a 2-1 lead. They're 2.5 minutes away from advancing to the Stanley Cup Finals.
You've got to credit Alexander Mogilny. He got caught on an extra long shift. He wasn't supposed to still be on the ice, but because he's the far winger, he hung around because he was in the offensive zone. And he played the puck to the front of the net. The puck has to go to the front of the net. Arnett's shot was fanned on. Elias quickly lifted the stick of McGillis and then tapped it beyond the startled goaltender. Brian Boucher never saw this one coming in the way in which it developed. I'm sure he thought that McGillis was going to take it. Instead, it was Elias who took it. Again, though, Elias, that normal line mate with Arnott, would be in that scenario. It'd be Sikora. Sikora could never get on the ice because his wing position was Mogilny's. So
seconds left. Here's Gagne for Primo. Off Niedermeyer. Pandolfo can't get the clear. Had a split second to clear it and couldn't. Pile up inside the Devils' zone. Desjardins can't keep it in. 7 seconds left. Tillman from the blue line. Blocker down by Martinbrodeur. And that is it. For the first time since expansion, a team has rallied back from a 3-1 series deficit. After the second round of the playoffs, the New Jersey Devils win 3 straight to end it. They defeat the Flyers here in Philadelphia 2-1, and the Devils are going to the finals.
And this guy deserves an awful lot of credit. Larry Robinson, his emotional outburst after a disappointing loss in Game 4. They rallied the troops in Game 5 here, which he called the pivotal game, the huge game. In every single game, their backs were against the wall. There was no tomorrow. And that guy there was a horse. Scott Stevens has been their player. He's epitomized what this team has been with those bone-crushing hits. Unbelievable.
Of course, their first trip to the Stanley Cup Finals was a victory in 1995, and the Stanley Cup Finals Game 1 will open Tuesday night in New Jersey on ESPN.
What a series that will be, because from top to bottom, the New Jersey Devils are really such a strong, strong team. The Philadelphia Flyers, though, cannot be forgotten with the way that they have responded all year long, with the adversity that they had faced. Mogilny acquired at the trade deadline, came up big 2 games in a row. That's what they got him there for. Martinbrodeur was strong early in this game when he had to be. And of course, you know, by winning the Stanley Cup, that he's got what it takes inside that gut of his.
There's Larry Robinson. Won so many cups as a player with the Montreal Canadiens. There's Brian Boucher,
what a
the
story.
2 goaltenders.
Oh, boy, my heart goes out to Brian. Just an outstanding season. And it looks like he's going to have a terrific NHL career. But their hearts have got to be broken in Philadelphia. There is no doubt. Oh, that hug from Larry Robinson to the veteran LeClaire. Oh, that's what it's all about. The sportsmanship, that's what it's all about in this game.
The Devils will be awarded the Prince of Wales trophy. Always interesting on a veteran club to see if anyone goes near this piece of hardware.
Yep.
A lot of times they won't, saying, hey, we don't want this one. It's nice, thanks. We'll take the next one, the Stanley Cup.
No, you're exactly right. They seem to be on a very even keel, though. Obviously, you're delighted, you're excited. It's good to be enthused. But they know, too, because they were there in 95, and they won it in 95. And that went 4-0 in 95 against Detroit. And I'm sure that the players that were on that team then will really cherish every moment now, because it does go by so quickly when you win it the first time.
Think about where the Devils have come back from. They blew a 3-1 lead in Game 2 of this series. The Flyers won 3 consecutive games, including 2 in New Jersey. And now the Devils have won it in 7. Ice level to Darryl Ray.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Patrik Elias. Describe the feeling. You guys rally from a 3-1 deficit, and you're heading to the finals.
So far, the best feelings of my life. You know, this is a great accomplishment we did. You know, came back from 2 games, you know, back. And, you know, we showed a character on this team. We battled back. We knew if we play our style and play, you know, as hard as we can do it. And we believed in each other, and we did it as a whole team.
Talk about your series. You led the team in goal scoring, and your line in particular, Jason Arnott, Peter Sikora, and yourself did an awful lot of damage against the Philadelphia Flyers in the 7 games.
Yeah, you know, they did a pretty good job on us couple games, and we knew if we want to, you know, advance into the finals, we had to pick our game up a little bit, and we had to talk our line a little bit, and, you know, we feel very confident to play with each other, and this, you know, we played with a lot of heart, and, you know, show that we can play against anybody. So now we're going to finals, and we got a, you know, another series to win.
Congratulations, Patrik, and good luck in the final.
Thank you.
Back up to you, Steve.
All right, Darryl, thank you. Interesting. Scott Stevens does take the trophy, the Prince of Wales trophy, for winning the Eastern Conference from Bill Daly of the National Hockey League. We'll see how long he hangs on to it.
Oh, he'll take it, and like so many captains, he'll take it and probably head over to the ice level with the players, and I imagine they'll be fairly calm about this, but it's a great accomplishment. And Scott Stevens knows it. He's been around a long time, 18th year in the National Hockey League, and he was such a big factor in every single series. First series against Florida, he was on the ice primarily against Pavel Bure. They win that one. Second series, he's on the ice against everybody, and his hits were thunderous, and they set a tone. In this one, a tough opponent in Philadelphia, big, strong guys, and he countered with his big hits.
You mentioned it earlier. Scott Stevens might have 2 more trophies coming in his immediate future. One, of course, the team trophy for a Stanley Cup if they can win, but the other might be the Conn Smythe. Yep. He's clearly the Devils' MVP to this point of the postseason. He's
been just great, just marvelous. And obviously Elias can't go unnoticed either, 7 goals as well. But it looks like Darryl Ray is downstairs there with a jubilant Scott Stevens. Darryl?
Scott, you've done this twice now, rallied from a 3-1 deficit. Can you talk about the turning point in this series?
Well, I guess it was after Larry talked to us and we had a bad game 4, and then we just bounced back and started playing our game. I mean, the Flyers never quit. They played hard in the second night. We didn't play very well in the second, but we came out in the third and played our game and got the go-ahead goal.
The hit on Eric Lindros is going to be talked about for a while. It looked like, and our guys talked about it upstairs, a clean hit. He just came over the blue line, and that's what you do.
Well, he's reaching for the puck, and he sort of lost the puck, so he's down really low. And I felt really bad. I had trouble playing the game after that, to be honest with you. I hate to see that happen, but I'm just elated that we won the game, but I really feel bad.
Talk about the finals. You guys are going to head there now. I know this has been exciting. A lot of people wrote you guys off when it went 3-1. Can this team win it all?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think we can, but there's lots of good teams left out there, and I mean, this is just a heck of a thing to come back like we did. I mean, this has never been done since 1964, so we made some history tonight, and we battled the whole time. It was tough when we were down, but we kept our heads up and came back and then won the series.
Scott, congratulations. I know you want to get back to the room, and good luck in the finals.
Thanks, Darryl.
Back up to you guys.
All right, Darryl, thank you. Scott Stevens studying the NHL history. The Devils win. They knock off the Flyers.
The heart of a champion, a compassionate man. It looked to me like he was a little stung talking about the hit on Eric Lindros.
Regardless of who they play in the finals, everyone will make the Western team, whether it's Dallas or Colorado, the favorite. Thoughts on New Jersey?
For New Jersey, it's a great hockey club from top to bottom. Very, very solid, and they will give either one of those teams a tough time. It should be a great final.
That's the situation for tomorrow night. They should have a classic on their hands in Dallas. The Avalanche and the Stars in Game 7 of that series. What a series this was for the Eastern Conference Finals. The New Jersey Turnpike battle won by the team from New Jersey. John McMullen's era as the owner of the New Jersey Devils will continue on. Was at the end of the Eric Lindros era as a member of the Philadelphia Flyers. The Devils win 2-1 over Philadelphia. They win the Eastern Conference Finals in 7 games, 7 hard-fought games, and New Jersey will host Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals Tuesday night from the Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. For our entire crew, thanks for watching, everybody. The Devils are going to the finals. We go to John and Barry.